So here we are arriving at the Free Bradley Manning rally in front of Fort Meade, Maryland, June 1st.
For those of you who don't know, Bradley has been nominated 3 times now for the Nobel Peace Prize. This year he was nominated by 2 different organizations. We are going to hang 150 peace prizes in his honor, each representing 300 people which have signed a petition for him to win that award. We are going to march with our signs with the peace prizes down to another gate, which is normally where the staff of Fort Meade would be coming and going, but they can't do that today because we're all here instead.
That's right.
That's where we're going to have a big stage and a sound system, and that's where you're going to hear our headline speakers like Ethan McCord, Daniel Ellsberg, Sarah Shord, Lieutenant Dan Choi, and Colonel Ann Wright.
We are the real Americans in this country. We love this country. That's why we're out here.
Alright, cool. So what I want you to do is that our good friend Ryan Harvey's going to play us a song. And as he's going to play the song, I want you to walk along the fence and hang these Nobel Peace Prize on the fences. So take them off from your necks and hang them on the fence because Bradley Manning deserves 1,000,000 Nobel Peace Prizes.
But remembering that when you run into problems, you got to push through them from within a social movement, not by stopping because there's problems. You fix the problems and you keep going. This is called Can't Turn Back. Well, I've seen the bitter worker whose labor paid little in return, struggling to meet the monthly bills with the little that she earns. And I've seen the developer and the banker with the double-bladed loan, who in the name of economic law pushes people out their homes. And I've seen the polished skylines rising up through the thick yellow haze, where the number crunchers and corporate thieves are now counting down their days. And I know we got a long way to go, but we're on the right track. And I've seen the gang fighter with a misplaced but justified rage, fighting his brother on the broken streets till they put him in a cage. And I've seen the politician lie under the faces of the poor about fixing the conditions of their lives with one hand on the door. And I know we got a long way to go, but we're on the right track. Yeah, we're on the right track. And I know we got a long way to go, but we can't turn back.
So I'm going to read you a little bit of a speech that I prepared, just because I'm a little bit nervous and jittery. So, thank you. All right. The war we are fighting today is no longer a conventional war as we know. Our war is the war of truth. And while we are fighting this war, we need to redefine what being a hero really means. It is no longer about carrying a gun and killing those who attack us in the name of protecting our nation. It means standing up for the truth in the face of injustice, just as Bradley Manning did. And just as Iraqis do every day up against the Iraqi war machine that was brought to us in the name of democracy, a democracy that ended up killing more Iraqis than saving their lives. And just a side note, today, the death toll in Iraq in the month of May alone rised up to over 1,000 people dead, just in the month of May. That shows you the democracy in Iraq.
Stay here. I'm going to go get a shot over here.
Leaders and politicians need to ask themselves, where has the blood blood and war led us but to even more death and destruction? Where have these wars taken us but to living days and nights of endless fear, suspecting everyone is the enemy, and in the name of protecting the nation, hundreds of thousands die for the wrong reasons. We need to understand that peace comes with justice, and justice comes with truth. Today, our war hero who is fighting the war of truth against injustice is Bradley Manning. We must thank him for his service as a soldier for truth, to honor him as a hero who is fighting this battle for us victims of these unjust wars. We demand his release. For what kind of a world would it be if we silence those who reveal the actions of war criminals? But I'll read a few words just for those of you who don't know her. She's a former 29-year veteran of the Army and Army Reserves, as well as a U.S. diplomat in Afghanistan and 8 other countries. In 2003, she became the most senior State Department official to resign in opposition to the war on Iraq. Since then, she became dedicated to anti-war activism and travels around the U.S. and the world giving lectures on foreign policy issues, and has been arrested 5 times for protesting Bush's policies.
That's all?
That's all. She's a member of Veterans for Peace and Bradley Manning Support Network. Bradley Manning Support Network Advisory Board member. Thank you. And Ryan.
Thank you, Kara. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a few more than 5 times I've been arrested because I know half of you all, and you all been in jail with me. That's right. We go to jail for justice. We go to jail for people like Bradley Manning that stand up for the truth. We go to jail to challenge the policies of Guantanamo, to challenge the policies of assassin drones, to challenge the policies of holding people in indefinite detention. We challenge the policies against the Cuban Five, that tomorrow night there will be a session of the Cuban Five. We challenge all of these policies, first of the Bush administration and now of the Obama administration. It's a continuation of the trampling of civil rights, the trampling of international law. I just come back from speaking in China, speaking in the Netherlands, speaking in Belgium, and speaking in Ireland. I just got back last night. And let me tell you what the face of America is in those countries. With the exception of Bradley Manning, the face of America in all the countries of the world is pretty pitiful, because our face is as warmongers, our face is killers across the world. But the bright light is in every one of those countries, and in virtually every country of the world, there's a Bradley Manning support group. So what we're doing here in the United States to stand with our fellow citizen is being reflected all over the world, that they want America to be the whistleblowers, the people that tell the truth, the people that try to hold their own government accountable, the people that nominate people as truth tellers as Maureen McGuire, Nobel Peace Laureate from Northern Ireland, told me yesterday as we took pictures with her with Free Bradley Manning. She said he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize too. Marshall, the woman colonel who's going to be the judge, to say, look deep in your heart. Look what's best for America. Is it to put in jail a 25-year-old kid, a 25-year-old young man, a 25-year-old prophet, a 25-year-old person who has stood for more honesty and justice in our country than the senior leadership of this whole country? To another colonel, I asked her to really look deep, to look at really what the law says. The law says that we have to whistleblow on criminal actions that our government is doing. We have to whistleblow on people who have murdered others in other lands. We have to whistleblow on people who have been undercutting our whole freedoms of our own country. For Bradley Manning, who has not killed anyone, who has saved lives because of the truths that he's told, we demand the United States of America treat him with respect and dignity, and free Bradley Manning!
While she's done all this amazing work, you probably are most likely to know Sarah, because in 2009 she was captured by Iranian forces while hiking in Iraqi Kurdistan.
Sarah, her fiance, and their friend were then held in detention without communication, without legal representation or trial. She was held in solitary confinement for 410 days, and she's now a prisoner rights activist who writes for Huffington Post and has written for the New York Times, CNN.com, and Newsweek. So here she is.
Okay. So I know what it's like to sit in a prison cell and know that you don't deserve to be there. I was held with my friends as a political hostage by the Iranian government after being lured over an unmarked border. I was driven into Tehran, we were torn apart and thrown into solitary prison cells. I spent 410 days in solitary confinement, and now I'm here to talk to you about why I admire Bradley Manning. Bradley Manning made a choice. At 24 years old, he made a choice very consciously to take a risk, and he acted on his conscience. Bradley Manning's act of bravery and courage has benefited the entire world. The collateral murder video has changed history. For everyone in the world to be able to watch as Apache helicopters gun down innocent, unarmed Iraqis and Reuters journalists. For them to be able to hear the chilling voice of a soldier laugh when he thinks he's run over a dead body, and to hear another soldier say, that's their fault for bringing their kids to a battlefield. That's their fault for bringing their kids to a battlefield. In the collateral murder video, 2 children were shot by this. They were, I don't know if it was an RPG, exploded the van that they were in that was trying to rescue dead bodies. And the voice of that soldier is justifying the atrocity and the murder of children. That's what Bradley Manning gave the world. That's the voice that Bradley Manning gave the world. The Obama administration is on the wrong side of history for persecuting whistleblower Bradley Manning. Obama, the candidate, said that whistleblowers were patriots. And now the Obama administration has targeted whistleblowers more than any other administration in history. They've invoked the Espionage Act in 5 cases, which is more than all other administrations combined. So Bradley Manning and I have very different stories. I was held as a political hostage. He's a whistleblower in the U.S. military. But what we have in common is that we are both being used by governments. My friends and I were used by the Iranian government to try to extract concessions from the U.S. government. Bradley Manning is being used to set an example so that more whistleblowers, or potential whistleblowers in the future, will be afraid to act.
Who is a 3-tour veteran of the war in Afghanistan. He's the coordinator of Operation Awareness and A Ride Till the End, in which he bicycles around the country educating people in remote communities about his opposition to the war.
Okay, so here you are in front of the White House again. What are you protesting?
Well, we're asking for a compassionate release for Revolutionary Attorney Lynn Stewart, and we're sending folks to lynnstewart.org to help try and get her proper treatment, some proper cancer treatment. She has stage 4 cancer. She's devoted her whole life to helping others as a human rights attorney. I think when the government really got ticked off at her was when she defended the Black Liberation Army. You're not allowed to cross that line, it seems. But she was jailed for speaking on behalf of her client, which was she was contracted to do. She was supposed to do that. That's her job. But her client was the blind sheikh, so they somehow changed the rules. And Originally gave her 26 months, I think, and now changed it to basically the rest of her life. And I think they're planning for her to die in prison. But there's a chance that the warden is signed on, I guess, and we need the Department of Justice, and we just need Obama to get her out of there, get her out of Carswell, get her home to Brooklyn,
Thanks.
and get her some treatment.
Thank you.